We are starting to ramp up manufacturing of these cells.
Tesla has strongly confirmed the start of production for their two new upcoming batteries, aluminum-ion battery and sodium-ion battery. And right after that, Elon Musk has hinted at a clear timeline.
I don't know, maybe we'll start working on that next year.
But why does Tesla introduce these two new batteries at the same time, not one by one? And what is the strategy behind this move? Are they planning to dominate the battery and energy market? This video cuts straight into that pressure point. You'll see the engineering reality behind both technologies, the production roadmaps Tesla's keeping close, and analyzing exactly why Chinese battery giants should be sweating. And before we dig in, if you want to help this channel finally cross 19,975 subscribers, tap that subscribe button in the same way these new cells are about to disrupt the old battery order, quiet, quick, and with real impact. Let's get into it. 1. How do aluminum-ion and solid-state batteries disrupt traditional energy norms with hidden technical edges? Elon Musk's recent battery disclosures hit Americans harder than a surprise heatwave in July because they exposed something most of us never realized about the power sources running our cars, our homes, and even our phones. So, how do these next-generation batteries uncover overlooked deficiencies and vulnerabilities when stacked against the lithium-ion market leaders we've depended on for decades? The answer begins with aluminum-ion's unusual charge carrier behavior. Its trivalent aluminum ions carry 3 electrons per cycle instead of lithium's single electron, which lets aluminum-ion hit around 220 watt-hour per pound energy density. Even better, Florida-style humidity actually helps it by dropping internal resistance up to 20% compared to typical market packs that struggle past 85 degrees Fahrenheit. But this strength comes with a technical catch. In arid New York weather, oxide buildup forms on the aluminum surface, trimming efficiency by roughly 8% after 800 cycles. Lithium-ion stays steadier through about 1,500 cycles in those balanced conditions, which is why aluminum-ion fits value segments, but doesn't threaten lithium's 75% market grip yet. Solid-state shifts the story again with its ultra-dense, rigid electrolyte. This lattice structure reaches up to 380 watt-hours per pound, far beyond lithium-ion's 260 watt-hours per pound, giving real potential for Texas-style long-distance ranges near 750 miles. But rigidity brings its own complications. The cells need tight mechanical control to avoid about 4% losses from strain cracks under repeated load. Salt-heavy coastal California also exposes its weakness, where interface layers degrade around 12% compared to lithium's 6% toughness. The performance is extraordinary, but it is selective rather than universal. Heat behavior flips the comparison back toward the aluminum ion. At 110 degrees Fahrenheit, it only dips around 6%, while lithium-ion loses up to 18% during heat waves, making aluminum-ion a natural fit for Texas grids. Cold is its soft spot, where it drops roughly 10% below 30 degrees Fahrenheit, placing it behind industry norms. Solid state, meanwhile, is a fast-charging monster. It accepts around a charge rate of 4.5 times the battery's capacity per hour, roughly a 14-minute full charge, beating lithium-ion's 2.5 C-rate ceiling. Yet production yields hover at about 75%, below lithium's 92%, which is the real anchor slowing down mass rollout. And about the sources, aluminum-ion leans on the United States' massive 1.4 billion-ton aluminum reserves, dropping projected costs to about $85 per kilowatt-hour compared to lithium's $105 average. But with a voltage limit near 3.2 volts, it lacks the torque needed for heavier Florida vehicles. Solid state looks safer with strong thermal runaway resistance, but under physical impacts it still shows around 1.5% cycle failures, surprisingly similar to lithium-ion. And when you compare longevity, aluminum-ion delivers about 2,200 cycles at 12% fade across mixed climates, outperforming lithium's 1,600 cycles. even though it loses capacity about 16% faster during deep drains. Solid-state counters with a 4.6-volt operating window that boosts efficiency around 20% in New York grid applications, but its $130 per kilowatt-hour pricing keeps it out of mainstream reach. So, which battery do you believe truly deserves to lead America's next energy chapter? If you want the rugged, heat-tolerant, aluminum-ion future, comment 1. If you think solid-state's brute density and fast charging win the long game, comment 2. Your vote tells me exactly what the next video in this series should focus on. 2. How do tailored production paths for aluminum-ion and solid-state batteries forge new U.S. supply realities? Their production paths split in two directions because the traits baked into each chemistry force Tesla to build entirely different manufacturing ecosystems. That contrast is exactly why these technologies are poised to reshape U.S. supply chains instead of simply replacing lithium-ion. Each one pulls America toward a different industrial future, and the gap between them is widening fast. Aluminum-ion's blueprint relies on sheer scalability. By 2028, Texas refineries can push out 180,000 tons of anodes every year using streamlined processes that average 45 kilowatt-hour per pound throughput. This simplicity enables Tesla to hit 88% yields without the brittle failure rates that slow lithium-ion lines. But the chemistry is sensitive to gel electrolyte variations, so production teams must keep viscosity tolerances tight to avoid performance dips. When deployed, aluminum-ion packs naturally suit the 450-mile electric vehicle tier priced around or over $15,000, like the Model 2, Model Y, and Model 3. These packs thrive under 600-cycle logistics routines common in Texas and Arizona, where cost and heat stability matter more than elite fast charge demands. This is why aluminum-ion factories can be compact, roughly 25,000 square feet, and brought online in about 7 months, enough to support 2.5 million vehicles a year once optimized. The supply chain is even more U.S.-anchored, with 70% of inputs sourced from New York industrial hubs, helping costs sit near $2,200 per 100 kilowatt-hour. The trade-off is limited density for aviation, and an 8% exposure to foreign trade restrictions. Solid-state follows a far stricter path. California facilities use vacuum-sealed operations to aim for 90 gigawatt-hour output by 2029, running at roughly 75 kilowatt-hour per pound and demanding a $350 million plant investment long before the first cell ships. This method doesn't scale quickly, but it produces the ultra-dense packs required for 850-mile vehicles like the Model S, Model X, and Cybertruck, along with Florida fleet units needing 60 kilowatt-hour modules rated for 3,500 cycles. These packs excel in endurance but require delicate humidity controls in coastal areas. Solid-state ramping is slower too. Pilot lines in 2027, wider operation in 2030, and a cap near 600,000 units because each line needs around 3,500 specialized technicians. Both pathways ultimately prove that the United States is no longer stuck in a single battery ecosystem. They show that America can build two parallel supply streams, one tuned for mass-market affordability, one built for high-end endurance. And this dual-track system is exactly what pressures foreign battery suppliers the most. 3. How will aluminum-ion and solid-state battery advances threaten China's battery market supremacy? China's battery dominance has always relied on one assumption: the world would keep depending on the same materials, the same factories, and the same upgrade cycles that China already controls. But aluminum-ion and solid-state do not follow those rules. Their chemistry, supply chains, and update rhythms pull the entire market out of China's orbit, creating pressure points that Beijing cannot easily counter. Aluminum-ion strikes first by cutting straight into the material advantage China built over decades. The United States sits on 1.3 billion tons of aluminum reserves, and using them at scale immediately weakens China's 55% control of global aluminum flows. Markets already forecast a 22% drop in China's $35 billion export stream by 2029 as U.S. refiners shift demand inward. Pricing pressure is even sharper. In comparison, aluminum-ion cells are produced at 95 United States dollars per kilowatt-hour, undercutting China's 110 lithium-based baseline, forcing exporters to consider 18% reductions that eat directly into the $55 billion margin stack they rely on. With lower risk of supply choke points and more stable production costs, aluminum-ion lets the U.S. pull entire mid-range electric vehicle segments out of China's ecosystem. Solid-state attacks from the opposite angle. Technology exclusivity. U.S. firms now control most next-generation electrolyte designs, placing intellectual property walls that slow China's replication attempts and widen a 12% performance divide in high-density materials. Their higher stability also begins to erode China's consumer hold. Solid-state's resistance to overheating cuts into China's recurring recalls, which reach nearly $4 billion annually and have been key pain points in its 65% global consumer share. By the time the USA scales its solid-state output, that reliability gap becomes a branding advantage, especially in premium markets where China has struggled to gain trust. Labor and innovation cycles create another shakeup. Between Texas and California, aluminum-ion and solid-state buildouts are projected to add 35,000 new U.S. jobs, drawing momentum away from China's 1.8 million battery workforce as exports shrink. If global shipments fall 18%, as projected, up to 180,000 positions in China's mid-tier manufacturing base could shift or disappear. Meanwhile, U.S. update loops hit 8 months for aluminum-ion compared to China's 13 months, while solid-state widens the innovation lead by 16%, heading into 2029. Faster cycles mean faster dominance. All of this leads to one outcome: China's 550-mile battery standard risks becoming outdated. Analysts already model an 18% drop in demand for Chinese packs and temporary shutdowns across 70 gigawatt-hour worth of plants. But do you think this is the moment the United States finally breaks China's dominance in batteries? Comment "Tesla wins" if you believe this shift is real, or "not this time" if you think China will hold its ground. And that is exactly why this video matters. How do you think about the next move in Tesla's battery alone? Share with us, and keep on focus.